Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and I am reading Star Trek Boldly Go, issue number 4. And guys, unfortunately, this really is the last one. This is actually just a 4-part miniseries, and they could have at least told us. I mean, how rude. It didn't say on the comic itself. Guys, this actually gets wrapped up pretty nicely, and it still leaves something open for next time. What happens is the crew crosses over into Romulan space. They're not able to take down the sphere, but the Romulans show up right afterwards, and they don't blow them out of the sky because they realize that they helped a little bit earlier. They saved some Romulans, didn't take any prisoners or anything. So that's the only reason why they're still talking. So they both join up together, an entire Romulan fleet. They go after the sphere. The Romulans start firing. Captain Kirk's crew start trying to teleport these guys out of there, including Spock. Spock wasn't actually able to be assimilated. He had a couple little machine parts put on him, but he rips those things right out. They can't understand his physiology. Why? Because he's a hybrid. He's half Vulcan, half human. So they weren't able to figure that out. And seeing him confer with these Borg the way that he did, and seeing some of the memories that he used, like for instance seeing the Borg all at the council in that first J.J. Abrams movie where the Vulcans were all in the big council and Spock had to go and answer to them. It was really great seeing the Borg in their place instead, you know, with the big ears and everything. So it was really good imagery. I absolutely love how they did what they did with this comic. The art seems to have gotten better each issue. Anyway, the way that this works out is that they can't absorb him, they can't assimilate him, I should say, and he winds up getting beamed out too. And hey, I've seen this trick before. In the place of all the crew members, photon torpedoes were teleported on board. So what happens is the Borg ship winds up blowing up. Everybody gets out of Dodge. Now, I probably should have mentioned this before. The only way that the Federation is able to work with, and by the Federation I really just mean Captain Kirk's ship, the Enterprise, is able to work with the Romulan Empire, is that he surrenders his ship. Personally, I think that this was a really stupid move on my part, and on Captain Kirk's part, and I don't think it's something that Kirk would have done. I think it was a really dumb idea, but, you know, whatever, for the sake of writing. Well, they're kind of forgiven for, you know, crossing over because they did help out. Unfortunately, what they do is they decide, the Romulans, that they're going to keep First Officer Valis, who is herself a Romulan. Now, her parents escaped from the Romulans, and she herself was born on Earth, and she's always a part of the Federation, and she accepts this because it's the only way. So that's what happens, and she's going to be reconditioned. It opens up for more of a storyline, which is kind of cool, but it makes me feel really sad. You know, how they're going to do something like this, and Kirk says how, you know, it's unacceptable. I failed because I did lose a single member of my crew, and not by death, but by something else. And hopefully this is going to make it so that we can eventually work with each other later on, the Romulan Empire and the Federation. Unfortunately, I just don't see how like that. It's just a little slight, like you know, you get into a fight with somebody and you're able to poke him in the eye after he beats the snot out of you. Well, it's kind of what the Romulans did. They poked the Federation in the eye by keeping Officer Valis. Whatever. Anyway, this is still a really good comic. I love what they did here. I'm going to give this comic an A, sending it off with a big, you know, hurrah. And I really hope I can see more of this. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed.